Hey, it's Kevin. Welcome back to the Road Warrior. One thing I've found, and last week I was talking about just taking it easy, getting older, on that same kind of tip, it's all about sleeping. I have found I am more sensitive to temperature at night than ever before. In addition to having the air conditioning on, and I think we keep it like 74 at night, or pretty much all day long. We've even had some days where we dipped it down to 72 and kept it there, and it didn't help. So both my wife and I have fans aimed at us. And you got to get a fine, level of the fan. Too much, you get too cold. Too little, you still sweat. And for me, getting that right temperature determines how well you're going to sleep for the night. Some nights, man, you can go to bed, temperature's just right, everything's good. Wake up an hour later, sweating profusely. Waking up an hour later, just cold. What's changed? I realize my body temperature has changed, but the fan's at the same level. The house is at the same level. It's not like the outside temperature at 2 o'clock in the morning should be affecting things, even though I know it does to a point. But it's kind of strange that as you get older, you worry about that consistency. That consistency, especially in temperature, is important, but I guess, too, consistency in life is helpful, too. You would think as we get older, because we've dealt with stress for so long in our lives, we would know how to handle it. We would adapt to it better. But I found even though you deal with stress every day and you've dealt with stress your entire life, the more consistency you can have in your life as you get older, the better off you are. And I don't even know if that's getting older. I just think the more consistency you can have in life, period, the happier you are. The easier it is to live, to do your thing. Traffic is hot and heavy today. Holy cow. But it's interesting that, I don't say as I've gotten older, but again, as I've gotten older, I think about these silly things more now than I did 20 years ago. And it's not like I'm not working harder. It's not like I'm not working 40 hours a week with a job. It's not like the stresses of life aren't up there. But it's like the things you think about, the things you worry about, the things that, I can't say keep you up at night, because it's not the mental things that keep me up at night. It truly is that temperature. It truly is that consistent. And I don't know what the temperature is. I don't know how to figure out what the right temperature is. And in our house especially, we have a house that the way it was built, the heat pump or the air conditioning or whatever you want to call it, is in the crawl space in the attic, which I don't think is the right place for it. And in fact, a lot of people say we should probably have 2 heat pumps, one for the first floor, one for the second floor. We don't. And the temperatures are very inconsistent between the floors. During the day, it's much hotter upstairs than it is downstairs. And then while it cools down a little bit during the evening, it's still pretty warm. I don't spend a lot of time downstairs at 2 o'clock in the morning, so I can't tell you what it's like there. But it's just one of those things you got to think about, you got to worry about, and you keep on going. We're back next week, another Road Warrior, kevinmason.us, home to all of the Road Warrior videos. We're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, wherever you find video, we're pretty much going to be there. At least a link to us is going to be there. Tell a friend, like, comment, share, all those good things. Thanks so much. See you next week.